What's good, YouTube? In today's video, we're going to be reviewing and talking about the new Game Night Commanders that were recently released maybe a week ago or a couple weeks ago. I just became aware of these cards right now, so I'm making this video now. And if you like videos that are up to date, the latest news, you can like this video and also comment down below so I become aware, so I spend more time making these types of videos. Also remember to subscribe, it generally helps. So when I look at this over here, we have 5 new commanders, and generally they don't really release legendary creatures, correct me if I'm wrong, in these game night products. So we got 5 commanders here, so we'll go on to the first one. The first one that we have here is Zamriel, Seraph of Steel. Zamriel is a 4 mana cost angel with flying that says, as long as it's your turn, equipped creatures you control have indestructible. You know, that'd be pretty cool if you can find some equipment that costs 0 to equip, or as creatures enter the battlefield, it automatically equips to a creature. She basically just gives every equipment you have, say, target creature has indestructible, which is really relevant. So I think that's a cool commander, especially in the color white when you can cast equipment at instant speed. I can see how I would just play a deck where I play Zamriel and just wipe the board over and over again. That's honestly what I would do. Seems kind of strong, actually. The next commander we have is Vogar, Necropolis Tyrant. This art is so cool. Zombie Giant, 5 mana cost. He has Menace. Whenever another creature dies during your turn, put a +1/+1 counter on Vogar, Necropolis Tyrant. Okay. When Vogar dies, draw a card for each +1/+1 counter on it. Okay. This is very similar to the commander that I created in my one video where I created a commander precon set. Only my commander entered the battlefield with counters equal to the number of creatures that died that turn, as opposed to Vogar getting counters when creatures just generally die, which I think works relatively similarly. I think that when I see this card, this is just great. The fact that when he dies, you get to draw a card. What if, you know, Vogar dies and then you cast an instant speed spell to just bring him back into play? You know, or, you know, you can figure out, you can combo this with Mikaeus the Unhallowed, so creatures that die come back to the battlefield for them to die again, for Vogar to get more counters. I can, once again, this commander's legitimately good, and he has Menace, so he has some type of evasion. You need 2 creatures to block him. It's a pretty cool card. I can see people building around that card. We have Maeve, the Insidious Singer. Pay 3 mana, goad target creature. Whenever that creature attacks one of your opponents this turn, you draw a card. It does have, you pay 3 mana to activate that ability. I mean, if you can figure out a way to generate a ton of blue mana, I could see that that would be cool. Just having the ability to just go to creature whenever you want, I think is always going to be somewhat strong. If you could figure out a way to reduce the cost of that ability, I could see that it could, I'm just imagining paying 1 mana to activate that ability, 1 blue, and just tapping out and essentially just forcing every creature to attack every single turn and drawing cards off of that every single turn, which should be really cool. It says whenever that creature attacks one of your opponents. Yeah, so it's at each creature you goad. That's really cool. This is a cool commander, and in mono blue you generally don't really see that. So it's a cool commander for multiplayer. We have Imaryll Elfheim Elite. Whenever Imaryll Elite attacks, it gets +X until the end of turn, where X is the number of other elves you control. Okay. Oh, you may have Imaryll assign its combat damage as though it weren't blocked. Okay, so essentially he's unblockable. That's awesome. I mean, everybody knows that elves are just really cheap to play. You know, 1 mana, 2 mana, elves create mana, put more elves into play. If you can figure out some way to just give Imaryll haste, and then, you know, use some of the elves that buff your elves to give them even more power. Yeah, this card can just one-shot people out of the game out of nowhere. It's a pretty cool commander here. And I think this may or may not be the last one we have. We have Nogi, Draco, Zealot. Dragon spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. So 3 mana Kobold Shaman. Whenever Nogi, Draco, Zealot attacks, if you control 3 or more dragons until the end of turn, Nogi becomes a dragon with base power and toughness 5/5 and gains flying. I don't know if I really like this one. It says whenever Nogi, Draco, Zealot attacks, if you control 3 or more dragons until the end of turn, Nogi becomes a dragon with base power and toughness 5/5 and gains flying. Is Nogi a dragon now? Is he just... Does that deal commander damage? I guess that's my question. There are cards at 3 mana that reduce the cost of dragon spells by 2 for that same exact mana cost or mana value. So there are cards that kind of already exist that are better than this. I don't see... I mean, and he's a 3/3. So all he's really doing is gaining flying, and he's being buffed by 2. I don't know. I think that this commander could be... I think it's cool to have another card that reduces the cost of dragons, and if you can just make your dragons cheaper in mono red, I can see, you know, spending, you know, what? Dragon costs... You pay 7 mana for a flying 6/6 or something, or 6 mana for a flying 6/6. You pay 5 mana instead. You have the other cards that reduce the cost of dragons. So what? You pay 3 mana for a flying 6/6, play like a Dragon Tempest. And now this deck is more about the dragons than it is about Nogi turning into a dragon when you attack. I just think it's one of those things where if you have, you know, at minimum, dragons are flying 4/4, 5/5 creatures. So if you have 4 dragons and 3 or 4 dragons in play, and they're all 5/5s, that's 20 damage. You know, that's a 2-turn clock. So I think that this deck is about the dragons, not really about Nogi. You know, this deck is about Imaryll. You know, this deck is about this commander as well. Potentially, this feels like a control commander, actually. Vogar, I mean, dude, Vogar is awesome. This deck can definitely play just straight through Vogar. And Zamriel as well is one of those cards that, you know, you want to play through Zamriel and just kind of wipe the board over and over again. So those are all the commanders that were recently announced. I'm not too sure when this product is being released. When this product is released, maybe I can get my hands on... I'm gonna tell you guys right now, I really would like to build Zamriel, and Vogar I think would be really cool to build. I already have a couple of elf decks. I don't think I need any more elf decks, but Vogar and Zamriel seem pretty cool. So let me know what you think in the comment section below. Remember to like the video and subscribe if you like content like this, and hit the bell icon so you're notified whenever a video I upload goes live. Also be aware that we do have a Discord on the channel, so if you're interested in joining community with people that are all like-minded and family-friendly and are kind and are respectful, then you can go ahead and join the Discord, and you can just talk amongst people over there. You'll also be notified when I upload videos and when I go live on YouTube. Also keep in mind that we do giveaways through the Discord as well. We're also going to be opening up a Patreon where we do giveaways, and you pledge $5 a month and you get a Patreon exclusive giveaway. You'll get access to cards that everybody else doesn't one time every single week. So $5 gives you 4 extra giveaways every month, and you get 3 entries into the Discord giveaways as well. So it just ups your chances to win some cards. And I'm going to tell you what, if you're one of the first patrons to pledge $5, you're going to be going up against 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 people. So your chances look really good, if I'm being honest. Okay, so Whenever I end this video, I always say the same thing. Always remember, eat healthy, okay? Work out every single day, subscribe, and most importantly, believe in yourself, all right? Peace out, people.